undefeated three-division pound-for-pound king with 33 victories, 24 of those victories coming by way of KO. The former lightweight, former undisputed super lightweight, and tonight, making the first defense of his WBO welterweight championship of the world. Born, bred, and repping Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford.
Of 24 world title bouts, he is undefeated in his 18-year campaign with a record of 47 wins, 9 losses, 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pound-for-pound great of the pay-per-view king, boxing's future Hall of Famer, the sensational 11-time world champion in 5 world divisions. Please welcome the reigning, the defending, and the undefeated WCWA welterweight and senior welterweight champion of all, the Jersey of Floyd Mayweather.
When an undefeated legend steps back into the spotlight to face the most dangerous welterweight of this era, the entire boxing world stops to watch. This isn't just another fight. It's ego versus legacy, precision versus power, and the ultimate test of greatness. Floyd Money Mayweather built an empire on flawless timing, impenetrable defense, and unmatched ring IQ. 50 fights, 50 victories, a career polished to perfection. But now he's walking straight into the eye of a storm named Terence "Bud" Crawford, a cold, calculating tactician who dismantles world champions with surgical precision. Fans aren't tuning in for nostalgia. They want answers. Can Mayweather's legendary defense withstand Crawford's switch-hitting chaos? Is the king still untouchable, or has the throne already been seized? This isn't past versus present. This is dominance versus destiny, and every jab, counter, and combination writes a new chapter in boxing history. If you thought legends were safe in retirement, think again, because this moment just shattered every rule the sport ever knew. Whether you believe Mayweather proved he's still the maestro or Crawford finally cracked the unbreakable code, one thing's certain. The world just witnessed history unfold in real time. But here's where it gets wild. Floyd Mayweather just did something nobody saw coming. The undefeated icon, the self-proclaimed TB, the best ever, has officially called out Terence "Bud" Crawford, the man many believe to be the most complete fighter of this generation. Now the question echoing across the boxing world is simple. Is this a genuine challenge or another masterclass in Mayweather marketing? It all started during what was supposed to be a calm, respectful sit-down about legacy, greatness, and the future of boxing. But true to form, Floyd flipped the script. Never one to share the spotlight, Mayweather reminded everyone of his spotless 50-0 record, his unmatched technical mastery, and his belief that no fighter, past, present, or future, can outthink or outmaneuver him when the lights are brightest. Then came the moment that froze the room. Floyd looked across the table and said, "You and I can get in there and settle this once and for all." The atmosphere shifted instantly. Crawford, ever composed, didn't flinch. He simply smirked, a calm acknowledgement from a man who knows his value and his next move. For now, Bud's eyes remain locked on his upcoming super fight with Canelo Alvarez this September, a bout that could go down as both the most dangerous and historic opportunity of his career. That's what Terence "Bud" Crawford is facing. Yet, Floyd Mayweather's words can't simply be ignored. A potential Mayweather versus Crawford clash, realistic or not, has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, igniting the kind of speculation, drama, and curiosity the sport thrives on. So what's really happening here? Is Floyd Mayweather truly considering stepping out of retirement to test himself against an active, prime world champion? Or is this just another money Mayweather master move? A perfectly timed marketing strategy to keep his brand alive, his name trending, and his empire generating headlines, clicks, and global buzz? For years, Mayweather's empire wasn't built solely on a skill set. It was built on control. Control over timing, promotion, and perception. Every word, every appearance, every move has been as calculated as his jab. But beyond all the headlines lies a more practical question. Would this fight even make sense? Mayweather's been retired for years, taking part only in lucrative exhibition bouts. Zero risk, maximum reward. Could he truly lace up the gloves again for a sanctioned professional fight against a monster like Crawford? Or is this just another clever maneuver? A hype-generating spectacle designed to boost streaming numbers, create viral momentum, and maybe, just maybe, lead to another massive payday? Regardless of the truth, one thing is undeniable. Mayweather's bold words have reignited one of boxing's oldest debates. What would really happen if Floyd Mayweather stepped into the ring against a prime, elite fighter from this generation? And perhaps more pressing, with Crawford already chasing legacy-defining greatness in his upcoming clash with Canelo Alvarez, does he even care about Floyd's challenge? Mayweather, as always, remains unshaken in his conviction. In his mind, there's no argument. He is the greatest to ever do it. An undefeated 50-0 record. World titles in 5 weight divisions. A career built on defensive wizardry and business genius. To Floyd, he isn't just part of boxing history. He is the standard. But Terence "Bud" Crawford is not just another name in the conversation. He's widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound fighter alive, a 3-division world champion, and the first boxer in history to become undisputed in 2 different weight classes. Crawford represents a new breed of excellence, a fighter who blends speed, intelligence, and knockout power with an almost supernatural ability to switch stances and adapt mid-fight. While he's shown deep respect for Mayweather's greatness, Crawford's never shied away from saying what he truly believes. He can beat anyone, including Floyd himself. And this isn't baseless bravado. It's a belief built from experience, dominance, and relentless confidence. His longtime trainer and strategist, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, has echoed that sentiment time and again, insisting that Bud's aggressive mindset, unmatched ring IQ, and ability to systematically dismantle opponents would ultimately give him the edge, even against a legend like Mayweather. Whether this is a passing headline or the spark of something bigger, one thing's for sure: the boxing world is watching closely. Because if Mayweather and Crawford ever touch gloves, it wouldn't just be a fight. Floyd Mayweather has once again shaken the boxing world to its core with a move no one saw coming. The undefeated legend, the man who proudly calls himself TB, the best ever, has officially called out Terence "Bud" Crawford, the most feared pound-for-pound fighter of this generation. Now, the burning question echoing through the boxing community is this: back-end index pointing right, is Mayweather making a real comeback challenge? Or is this another classic money Mayweather business masterstroke, a move designed to keep his empire thriving and his name dominating global headlines? It all began during what was meant to be a respectful conversation about careers, legacies, and the future of boxing. But in true Mayweather fashion, things quickly took a dramatic turn. Floyd reminded everyone of his flawless 50-0 record, his unmatched defensive brilliance, and his unwavering belief that no fighter, past, present, or future, could outthink him when the lights are brightest. Then came the bombshell moment. With his trademark confidence, Mayweather looked straight at Crawford and said, "You and I can get in there and settle this once and for all." The atmosphere instantly changed. Crawford, calm and composed as ever, didn't take the bait. He simply smirked. His focus remains locked on his upcoming September mega clash with Canelo Alvarez, arguably the most dangerous and career-defining fight of his life. Still, Mayweather's challenge cannot be ignored. With the world already buzzing over Crawford versus Canelo, Floyd's sudden entry into the conversation adds a whole new layer of intrigue. So what's really going on here? Is Mayweather genuinely considering stepping out of retirement to test himself against an active, prime world champion? Or is this another strategic marketing play? A calculated move to keep his billion-dollar empire relevant, his pay-per-view stock high, and his brand dominating every conversation in combat sports? Beyond the headlines lies a more practical dilemma. Does this fight even make sense? Mayweather has been retired for years, choosing to cash in on global exhibition bouts that offered huge paydays with zero risk to his perfect record. Could he realistically return to a sanctioned, high-stakes fight against a relentless, switch-hitting powerhouse like Crawford? Or is this simply another example of Mayweather's genius? A perfectly timed spark of hype, engineered to set social media ablaze, fuel endless speculation, and once again, position himself as the center of boxing's universe? One thing's for sure, Floyd's words have reignited a timeless debate. What would really happen if Mayweather faced a prime, elite fighter from today's era? Could the defensive genius still neutralize the power, precision, and adaptability of modern champions like Crawford? And, as always, one truth about Mayweather remains unchanged. He never fights unless the money is monumental. With Canelo Alvarez recently signing a record-breaking $150 million deal, it's no coincidence that Floyd's interest has suddenly resurfaced. The message is clear: if the check is big enough and the stage is global enough, Mayweather just might step back into the spotlight. And as the self-proclaimed money man of boxing, Floyd Mayweather isn't about to let anyone steal his financial crown. His entire empire was built on being the sport's biggest revenue generator, a man who turned prize fighting into pure business science. And if Canelo Alvarez is now earning 9 figures per fight, you can bet Floyd will demand double. History explains exactly why. His 2015 mega fight with Manny Pacquiao generated more than $300 million, shattering every pay-per-view record in existence. 2 years later, his crossover showdown with Conor McGregor brought in another $275 million, proving his drawing power extended far beyond boxing's traditional audience. That's why the idea of Mayweather facing Terence Crawford sparks both excitement and skepticism. Hardcore boxing fans would love it. A dream matchup of technical mastery versus modern dominance. But casual fans, the ones who actually drive those million-dollar pay-per-view numbers, might not be as emotionally invested. The business side of this fantasy bout is even more complex. Canelo's mega deal was bankrolled by DAZN and PBC, two powerhouse entities that view him as a global cash machine. Mayweather, on the other hand, is 47 years old, titleless, and no longer under a major promotional contract. He spent recent years headlining high-profile exhibition fights, low risk, big reward. A sanctioned fight against a prime Terence Crawford would require a historic financial commitment, potentially exceeding $300 million once promotional splits, site fees, and broadcast rights are factored in. But the key question is, would broadcasters and sponsors really take that gamble? But beyond the business red tape lies the bigger question: is the fight worth that kind of investment? For boxing purists, Mayweather vs. Crawford is a masterpiece waiting to happen. A meeting of two tactical geniuses across generations. But without mainstream momentum or a crossover hook, it might not reach the same commercial heights as Mayweather's past blockbusters. Mayweather calling out Crawford has the boxing world buzzing, but turning that challenge into reality is another story entirely. Floyd doesn't lace up the gloves for anything less than a record-breaking payday. And if promoters can't justify risking hundreds of millions on a fight with uncertain pay-per-view returns, Mayweather vs. Crawford could stay exactly where it is, a fantasy headline. Right-arrow Mayweather vs. Crawford, a legacy-defining spectacle between an undefeated icon and the pound-for-pound king of this generation. Right-arrow Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez, a clash for current supremacy, two active champions chasing history in real time. Crawford vs. Canelo represents the present, dominance, danger, and the pursuit of greatness. Mayweather vs. Crawford represents the past meeting the present, spectacle, nostalgia, and the irresistible question: can perfection survive time? But one fact stands tall: Floyd Mayweather hasn't faced elite competition in nearly a decade. His recent exhibition bouts have generated massive paydays, but none have carried championship meaning. Still, every time Floyd Mayweather even hints at a return, the entire boxing industry comes to a halt. A fight against Terence "Bud" Crawford would instantly dominate global sports headlines. But the real question remains, would it match the excitement and stakes of Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez? For hardcore fans, the answer might be no. Beating a 47-year-old Mayweather, no matter how legendary, doesn't define a fighter's career the same way conquering an active, prime superstar like Canelo would. Yet from a business standpoint, Floyd's brand is still in a league of its own. Even his exhibition with Logan Paul, a non-sanctioned event with no official winner, pulled in tens of millions in revenue. That's the power of the Mayweather name. If a legitimate, sanctioned Mayweather versus Crawford fight ever happened, it could easily rank among the highest-grossing events in boxing history. But here's the catch. Floyd would demand the richest payday ever, with Canelo reportedly earning $150 million. Mayweather's ego and market value would push him to demand at least double that. He'd likely want $300 million or more, re-establishing himself once again as boxing's ultimate money magnet. That's why, in reality, Mayweather is far more likely to continue down the exhibition path. It's the perfect formula for him. Massive checks, minimal risk, and a spotless 50-0 record intact. Why gamble his legacy against a prime, dangerous champion when he can keep cashing in safely? From a fantasy matchup perspective, though, the thought is irresistible. Prime Mayweather was nearly untouchable. His defense, footwork, and ring IQ dismantled legends like Pacquiao, Canelo, and Cotto. But Crawford brings a unique challenge: switch-hitting versatility, relentless pressure, and fight-ending power. Sadly, it's a fight the world will likely never see. What remains is speculation and the timeless debate that fuels boxing itself. Would Mayweather ever truly risk it all against Crawford? Or is this just another legendary cash grab? A reminder that Floyd's greatest skill might be playing the game better than anyone else? And perhaps the biggest question of all, would Mayweather versus Crawford outshine Crawford versus Canelo in revenue, legacy, and spectacle? One thing is undeniable. The business of boxing will always be as dramatic, unpredictable, and captivating as the fights themselves.
You know, either younger than us or, you know, past and retired. So why not? You know, I want to challenge myself. The best always looking to fight the best and challenge themselves. You know, and why not? You know, challenge.
Terence Crawford can't beat him, right? This is a money grab for Terence Crawford. It's just a situation where Terence Crawford is trying to fill up his bank account opposed to actually his legacy.
But if you're studying Floyd closely, like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier, and more meaner than both of those guys. So you know if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there and take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me, just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I knew from that point, if he just slowed him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo in the body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa, Bud hit him in the right spot then. He got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. You know, Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He did.
He got hit with some single shots going out. You know, he's going out, and you know Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, an uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot, but if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
He smiled about it. And sometimes that smile can be a lie, and sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it would.
Because you gotta remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport. That's supposed to be the man, you know, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, what's gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Man, like, I mean, ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there. Who will make them really want to get up? That's the
Shit gotta make sense. Like you say, you be a shark, you be a wolf, but there's the monster.
Yeah, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, to me, it don't make sense, but that's what, yo, is that, you got the legendary Dave in the building, legend. But, what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a lot of Brooks Brothers.
There's a lot of suits get you money. Ain't no way to get the easy money. You ain't gotta sweat. Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat. He's paid a career where he can sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just whatever, doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times, fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's because when a guy sees something up here and is fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he's not gonna really train. He's gonna train, but he's not gonna train. He's not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious. And he's like, man, we ain't gonna see anything.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would Floyd take the risk? Or is this just another masterclass in money making? And don't forget to subscribe for more fight breakdowns, boxing news, and updates from the world of combat sports.